Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I have another reading vlog for you, and it is the October release made by Hazelwood. Yes, October. We are mid-November. I don't know, like usually I'm very excited to read the new releases, but last month I just had so much to do. You know, I had a read-along that where I won the book for. I had a book club pick that I had to read. I had my library books, which 2 of them were this big. I just couldn't get to it. However, for her yet, we have 60 days prior to release and 60 days after release. So I'm still doing well. So I started this. I'm on page 90. I stopped right before the chapter ended. Anyways, I have the audiobook for this, and the problem is the book here is in English and the audiobook is in German. Now, I can switch from one language to the other. That's not the problem. But if you don't speak German, you have a lot of sh words in German, and some people, myself included, sometimes comes out as a whistle, like sh, 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 right? And unfortunately, the narrator, she does that quite a lot. Like I said, a lot of people do that. It's nobody's fault. It just happens depending on how you pronounce the word. Sometimes it's a little too much, right? Like you walk down the street and you have someone constantly whistling in your ear. So I got this book because I read Bright, which is the first book in this series, universe. I got that in April and I loved it so much that I want to get the physical copy of it because I only had the Libby audio. You know, I saw that, oh, there's a second book coming out, and I was super excited. And I thought this would be the continuation of Misery's and Lowe's story, the 2 main characters in the first book. But no, this is 2 completely different people. You know who they are, but, you know, like it's not the 2 main characters that were before, you know what I mean? So this is about Serena and Cohen. Serena is a hybrid, so she's half human, half werewolf. She lives with the pack. Cohen is a werewolf. Lo is a werewolf. Misery is actually a vampire, and so Misery and Lo are mates, and now Serena and Cohen are mates. However, there's no physical attraction between them. It's just, that's even mentioned in the book. It's just, let me drink something because I'm getting sick. It's cold outside. In a couple of days, we'll have -7. -7. I don't want to spoil it too much because this is the second book in the series, but I'm still doing my new releases video. What I can tell you, I'm not that far in, but I think Serena is so freaking annoying. She's really pissing me off. I don't even know how to explain it, but there's a lot of banter in this book, right? And I don't mind it. I'm sarcastic myself. I love a good banter between people. It doesn't matter if it's woman and woman or woman and man or man and man. I don't care. Some good banter is great, but it's just so much. Like, they cannot hold one single conversation without being sarcastic or without being slightly overstepping all the boundaries, you know what I mean? And then Serena's also like, you know, she's described as being a bit on the choppier side, and it gets mentioned every time. She doesn't think she's beautiful, which I get. You know, a lot of people don't have self-confidence. I get it, it's the same. But she mentions it every single time. When Cohen said he's not attracted to her, yes, of course you're not. Why would you? You know, I'm ugly, just say it. I'm like, go. He did not say that. Why are you comparing apples and oranges? It's like that one tweet that said, Twitter is the only place where you can say, I love apples, and then people be like, so you hate bananas. No, like there's no correlation between it. He's just not attracted to you. I feel like she's trying really hard to be so nonchalant about all the things. She was literally just told by the doctor that she will die within the next 3 to 6 months because her life is not compatible with either the human DNA or the wolf DNA, because, you know, she's a hybrid, and not a lot of people have that hybrid DNA or genes or whatever. And she's like, oh yeah, it's fine. It's not a big deal. You know, like she's, obviously internally she's screaming at it, but she's like, oh, it's fine. You know, it's not your problem. You did everything you could. But like, girl, you are angry. You are probably very sad about it. You just realize you're gonna die. Like, let those emotions out. I'm not connecting with the main character as much as I did in the first book. One of the first things I wrote down is that Serena is fucking annoying. Problem is that Lo's sister, Lo is the alpha from the South pack, and Cohen is the alpha from the North pack. And Lo's sister, Anna, she's also a hybrid, but nobody is supposed to know about her because she's only 7 years old. While Serena, she actually came out to the public and said, hey, I'm a hybrid, I'm half wolf, half human, deal with it. And now the vampires, they do not like that. They want to see if they can get some of her DNA to maybe breed hybrids between vampires and humans. One higher up actually set a very big bounty, a lot of money, out on her DNA. And whoever gets it will not have to work for the rest of his life. That much money is actually being rewarded to that person. So that's where I'm at right now. Yes, she was just told she will live a maximum of 6 months. We will see how that works out, because Cohen is, you know, like, he's her mate. Not attracted to her, because she's the most beautiful. Like, it has no love. It's just lust. And I remember very well, I think if you read the first book, you also remember the part between Lo and Misery. That whole nut thing that you had going on. I cannot get that out of my head. On one hand, I'm so disgusted. On the other hand, I'm just embarrassed and laughing at it. Thank God I have the audiobook for it, so I can skip that part if it's too much. And also, there's a big problem with Serena going on. She cannot shift. You know, usually when, you know, the typical werewolf stuff, when the full moon is out, you can shift. Or if you're actually really strong, powerful, you can shift whenever you want. She cannot shift anymore, which probably has to do with her being half human. And I will try to figure that out. I'm not that far in. I will also give you the synopsis on the back. It's a lot. Bear with me. Serena Paris is orphaned, peckless, and one of a kind. Coming forward as the first human hybrid, was supposed to heal a centuries-long rift between species. Instead, it made her a target, prey to the ruthless political machinations between wares, vampires, and humans. With her enemies closing in on her, she has only one option left. If he'll have her. As Alpha of the Northwest Pack, Cole Alexander commands obedience. His authority is so absolute, only a fool would threaten his mate. It doesn't matter if Serena doesn't reciprocate his feelings, nothing will stop him from keeping her safe. Power-hungry vampires and wares are not the only threats chasing Serena. Sooner or later, her past is bound to catch up with her, and Cone might be the only thing standing between her and total annihilation. From the promise of this, it sounds like action-packed, and you know, a lot of fighting and blood and all, and there is some, but so far there's a lot of banter between the two, and also like, oh, I'm not attracted to you, you're not my type. She even asks him, because he's always wearing flannel shorts, have you ever thought of getting a man bun? And I'm like, girl, why? Like, stop! Like, what is this? Are we back in the year 2015? Is that it? I just have trouble with warming up to her, because whatever, like, she always needs to have the last word, and even if it's just a sarcastic remark or whatever, she needs to have the last word, and that's really pissing me off. But anyways, I will continue with the book. I don't know, maybe it's better in English. Maybe I should switch to physical reading and not so much audiobook. I just know that the first one I liked much sooner. Like, first few chapters I was hooked, and now chapter 8, I've stopped one page short of the next chapter. I'm chapter 9. It needs to blow me away. However, I saw that on Goodreads this has better ratings than the first one. Maybe I will be impressed and shook to the core. I don't want to tell you too much about it, because like I said, it's the second book in a maybe series, I'm not sure. Anyways, I will continue to read or listen, whatever I would choose to do, and then I'll be back. I'm now almost 190 pages in, and guess what? Cone has actually made an on-off celibacy, even if he finds her very attractive and is turned on by her and the sexual tension is growing, he will not sleep with her. You know what I mean? Like, you haven't just want to scream, but you can, so you just silently scream like, oh my god. Like, the banter is still going on. You kind of get the backstory of how his pack came to be and how the relationship is between the wolves and vampires and the humans, and, you know, like her being a hybrid and all, and how that's taking a turn for the worse, basically, because they've recently caught 11 vampires on the perimeters of their area and killed them because they want to get to her and get her DNA. However, that story is so sparse in between, and also you have that whole backstory of where she actually came from, you know, that her father was a werewolf and where he was from, and why he left her and why he died and all of that, or how he died. But that is so sparse in between that it's like whenever you think, oh, the story is finally getting somewhere, it stops and you get back to the very domesticated wolves that you have, you know, like she's teaching him how to play piano, she's cooking for everyone, and she's, you know, being the perfect housewife. And I was like, girl, what are you doing? And she doesn't really fit into this world, which makes sense. Obviously, she didn't know she was a werewolf or hybrid or whatever. But still, she sometimes does things where you just sit there and just facepalm yourself, because why are you this naive? There was a gift outside for something like remember, or for the human that you were, something like that. And she immediately went there and tried to open it up, and Conan's like, what are you doing? Stop and think. This could be a bomb threat for all we know about. I'm almost halfway done with the book. There needs to be some major story involvement and some major plot twist, and I don't even know what to make me actually really like the story. Conan, he is the biggest, the strongest, and the most intimidating wolf there is, because he's the alpha, of course. And it's just like all they do is banter. And, you know, he has cute nickname for her that's Killer. And all I can think about is the skin of Killer Bella. You know, like I'm just not, maybe I'm just too juvenile. Like I cannot take a story for real. And I know that once they get to the point where they just have fun in bed, it will probably be even worse, because then he's gonna be all lovey-dovey and oh my god, hot eyes and I love you so much, but oh god. It's so sad, because the first book, Bride, I actually really enjoyed. I loved it so much that I went and bought the second one without even reading what it was about. I pre-ordered it, and now I'm just so confused. Like, how is this in the same universe? Like, it's just not as good. And even Misery, who was the main character in the first book, is mentioned quite a lot in this book, but she's also not how I remember her to be. Maybe, you know, a lot of things happened over the summer that kind of messed with me physically and mentally. Maybe I just don't remember the story that well, but she was not this annoying. Yeah, I'm going to continue to read or listen to it. Literally, look, the last update that I gave you was her father was a werewolf from the northeast. Right, that is here. And now I'm here that says that he took an honor of celibacy. That's literally the only two big things that happened in between now. Like the last update and this update. That's it. Like I said, I'm not even halfway done, so I'm hoping for some good story. That's all I'm hoping for. Please be good. And please have a good ending. Let me just put my feelers out and my psychic abilities. There will probably be a third book, and it'll probably be about Anna, who is the sister of Lo, but she's currently like, she's a child. So maybe the third book, if there is a third book, will be about Anna and how she's dealing with everything. I'm not even, at this point in the story, I'm not even interested in how it's ending. The sexual tension is there, but will it happen? It probably will, but when? Because right now, this whole back and forth and the banter between them, and sometimes the name calling, and they don't act like mates, they act like siblings. And that is very fucking weird for me, because I know that there's something more coming up, probably. So, yeah. I'm gonna stop now. I'm gonna continue the book. The knot thing. The knot thing. Oh no. It's so awkward every single time. Every single time. Oh my god. Very quickly, I'm now on page 368, and it's right in the middle of the smut scene. Oh my god, why is that every time so awkward? With that little knot that they have. Oh my god. It was already very awkward in the first book, and it's still as awkward as it was in the second book. Oh my god. It's so weird. It's just, oh my god. I know that you are werewolves, you are, you know, related to the wolf, the actual wolf, and the dog. But still, I don't need to know about that anatomy, you know what I mean? We found out that her father was actually a cult leader called Constantine, and her mother was a human, and, you know, she is a hybrid, as we all know. And Constantine, he actually killed Cone's parents and a lot of parents of the other pack members that he has, and in return, Cone killed Constantine and Serena's mother. That all came out because Constantine's sister, what was her name again? Irene, kind of kidnapped her to show her the other side of their lives, right? That she can be a fully accepted human and be treated as a goddess because she's a hybrid, and, you know, why don't you join our side, and why don't you become a member of the cult and whatever it is. She was kidnapped by that, and Cone obviously found out because they sent a tracker to him. They want him to come, and Irene kind of wanted to expose him because she knew that Cone knew that he killed Serena's mother, you know what I mean? That was a big oh my god and surprise moment, because Serena didn't know that. Cone has actually suspected it for a while, but she didn't know it. Yeah, that's it. Like that was over within a few pages. You know, all hell broke loose. The werewolves kind of came in, killed all the rest of the people, and now we're back. Yes, he has that vow of celibacy or whatever it is, but they still are doing the deed, you know what I mean? And people around him, especially seconds, they have sworn that they will not tell anyone because she's now in heat. She's not dying in 6 months, no, she's just in heat. That's a normal wolf and werewolf thing to do. Ergo, she needs to F a lot, you know what I mean? 80 pages. If there's not something breathtaking and groundbreaking happening, 80 pages is not enough to build some momentum and to give me a huge plot twist and maybe some fights and some I know something amazing. Like this, I put this in because this is where the smut starts, right? It took this much of the book to finally get to the point, because you can just tell from the get-go that there was some sexual tension going on, but they were both just denying the other. Almost done with the book. And like I said, 80 pages left, and what more can happen? I'm sure that something will happen with the other wolves, you know, like her father's pack, whatever. Or like at least the people that are still loyal to him, you know what I mean? I'm sure something will happen there, but in 80 pages. Yeah, I will probably finish this book today, and then we'll give you a review tomorrow. And that's it. It even starts, this chapter starts with, I cannot believe Layla, who is the doctor, didn't mention it. She probably assumed you know. A bit further than, this is mind-blowing, does Lo have one? Not, you know, on his... Like, I'm going, bye. This is it. Is that... Are you serious? As you saw, I have finished Made by Hazelwood. I don't know what to say. Like, I would give this 2 stars, because it's just not as great as I thought it would be. You know, I really loved Bright, and I figured, wow, if it is in the same universe, as you know, at first I thought it was the continuation of Misery's and Love's story, but it's not. Still, if it was in the same universe, it might be good, but this is just not it. Like, I said it before, but all the banter, I did not need it, okay? 400 pages of just banter, and then after this part here, you know, where the smut starts, it's basically just smut. Smut. Even the last pages, even the last page where you think, oh, you know, this is getting cozy, and, you know, the end of the story, and, you know, love ever after. His nut is already pulsating, starting to inflate, pressing against the tight walls of her. See what? Like, if you want to write story, write a story. Don't give me like the premise of a big fight between vampires and werewolves and humans and I don't know what. There was a fight in, but it lasted 3 pages. After that, it was just all happiness and oh my god, they're funny together and we can fuck as much as we want. And I'm really disappointed in this. I feel like ever since I'm doing these videos, this is the biggest disappointment that I've had thus far. Because, like I said, I was really excited to read this. The second book in a, well, maybe series, I don't know. Because I really enjoyed the first one so much, and I was excited to get to this. And I'm just really disappointed. So, yes, I did have some other books that were very bad. Empire the Vampire, for example, I DNF'd that, which I haven't done since 1st of July, because for Herkit, you cannot DNF books. Yes, I had some books that were bad, but I was never as disappointed in the book as I am in this, because I was so excited. In case you care for Herkit, this will count as the new release, October, and Spooky Creatures, shifter, because they're werewolves, they can shift from human to werewolf. Also, a lot of them just walk around naked because they're too lazy to put clothes on, because they change into werewolves anyways, so why would they put clothes on? They're all just constantly naked. And I'm not a prude at all, but if a whole book and whole story is just based upon smut and nakedness, it's just too much for me. I don't even know if I want to keep this book. That was it. That was the reading vlog. I don't know when I will do the next one. I think the next one I have lined up is the no, it's not Miss Marple, it's Poirot. But there will be a couple books in between, so which is good because I have a few videos pre-planned and I have to edit this one as well and then upload, and you know the drill. So let me know if you read the book and if you liked it. I know it has a lot of good ratings on Goodreads, for example. Fable as well, Storygraph, whatever page you lock your books into, it has a lot of good ratings, but for me, it just wasn't it. That's it. That's Made by Hazelwood. I would definitely continue with Hazelwood, I think, because I like the writing style, I just don't like the story. So, yes, and I know that there are some books of hers on Libby, if I ever feel like I want to read a Hazelwood book again. So, that's it. Hope you enjoyed this vlog, whatever. I'm going out now. It stopped snowing, but it is snowing. I hope you enjoyed the vlog. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe to my channel if not already. And it's the next one. Bye.